Everyone, please take your seats. We're going to get started. Thank you. How are you doing? That's my goal. Yeah. You on board?
Yes,
Okay,
I am.
good.
I got somewhere to be. I've already made a commitment. I looked at the agenda and I said, yeah, I could do that.
That's right. Yes, good. We want to get you there. Good evening, everyone. It is 6:00 p.m. on Tuesday, August the 8th, 2023. I'd like to call the meeting of the Peoria City Council to order, and I'd also like to welcome everyone participating in our council chambers, as well as our participants that are watching and listening on channel WCBU. I'd also like to welcome the audience watching via cable channel 22. Madam Clerk, council mics are open. Please call the roll.
Mayor Ali, Councilmember Allen, Councilmember Sear, Councilmember Gordon Young,
Present.
Councilmember Graham, Councilmember Jackson,
Here.
Councilmember Kelly,
Here.
Councilmember Euler,
Here.
Councilmember Riggenbach,
Here.
Councilmember Velpula, Councilmember Vespa.
Here.
We have a quorum present, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Everyone, please join me and stand for a moment of silent prayer or silent reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk.
We have one proclamation.
Before we get to that proclamation, I'd like to make an acknowledgement. Our city clerk, Stephanie Tarr, was recently awarded the designation of Master Municipal Clerk, MMC. This designation was made by the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. She already had the Registered Municipal Clerk, RMC, and Certified Municipal Clerk, CMC, designations, and due to her devotion to continuing education and her experience with the city of Peoria, she was able to achieve the MMC designation. Let me tell you a little bit about that program, the Master Municipal Clerk Program. The MMC program is the second and more advanced of the two professional designations granted by the IIMC. The MMC program is an advanced continuing education program that prepares participants to perform complex municipal duties. The program has an extensive and rigorous educational component and a professional contribution component. The MMC applicant must demonstrate that they have actively pursued education and professional activities. So congratulations, Madam Clerk Tarr, on this significant achievement and designation. We are blessed with one of the best.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Our proclamation today recognizes the Northwoods Mall 50th anniversary celebration. This proclamation was brought forth by Councilman Andre Allen. We have Julie Ravallo, the General Manager, and Alan Hurt, the Operations Director, here present with us. If you would come forth. And I'm going to have Councilman Allen, I'm going to have you actually read the proclamation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Whereas Northwoods Mall opened its doors on August 13th, 1973, immediately becoming a community hub and featuring department stores J.C. Penney, Montgomery Ward, and Carson Perry Scott. And whereas Northwoods Mall was built on the fringe of Peoria in the 1970s, but as the city has grown, it has now positioned into a centralized spot in the heart of Peoria. And whereas Northwoods Mall has continued to reinvent itself over the years with the rise and fall of different retailers, and in recent years has found local retail, restaurant, and service businesses fill many of its spaces along with national chains. And whereas Northwoods Mall is operated by Cohan Investment Group and currently features more than 70 businesses anchored by the Room Place and J.C. Penney. And whereas part of Northwoods Mall innovation comes from its variety of spaces, businesses of any size can take advantage of short-term pop-up shops, long-term kiosks, and coveted large anchor spaces. And whereas Northwoods Mall brings people from all over the region to enjoy community events, fundraisers, fashion shows, car and toy shows, and many more specialties. Now, therefore, I, Rita Ali, Mayor of the City of Peoria, hereby do acknowledge and celebrate Northwoods Mall 50th anniversary in Peoria, Illinois, dated this day, 8th day of August 2023 AD.
Ms. Ravallo?
I just want to thank Mayor Rita Ali, for allowing me to speak tonight, and thank you to all the city council members for giving me this opportunity to say thank you very much to 50 years of Northwoods Mall celebrating their anniversary, and we're still going strong, and our birthday party is going to be the 12th. This Saturday we're celebrating, and here's to another 50 years at Northwoods Mall in Peoria.
Congratulations.
Mayor, while I still have the hot mic, I do want to acknowledge Northwoods Mall and the work of Julie and Alan and all of the staff there, really renovating the mall and making it an anchor for our community. Someone who's grew up in Peoria, my fondest memories are going to KB Toys and Northwoods Mall, or maybe going to Hardee's or Aladdin's Castle. And although those are part of memories fond, I still hold those dear, and I appreciate the new innovations that are now at Northwoods Mall and bringing my own kids to the mall to have their own memories too. So thank you so much for what you all are doing there to reinvent Northwoods Mall and get out there and rediscover the mall. The mall is a crucial component of District 4, the city of Peoria, but also our region, and we need to support our mall. So please shop local, go out there, celebrate the birthday this weekend, and continue to stay positive about our mall. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
We are at approval of the minutes.
Councilman Riggenbach?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to approve the minutes of the City Council meeting held on July 25th, 2023 as printed.
Seconded by Councilmember Jackson. Any comments or questions? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
We are at the town portion of the agenda. 23-279 is a request from the town officials to approve the July 2023 actual expenditures and to approve the August 2023 anticipated expenditures for the town of the City of Peoria.
Councilmember Seer?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Since Councilman Grabb's not here right now, move to approve the July 23rd actual expenditures and the August 23rd anticipated expenditures.
Seconded by Councilmember Euler. Any questions or comments? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
23-280 is the Town of the City of Peoria Financial Statements, Annual Audit, and Supplementary Information for year ended March 31st, 2023, with request to receive and file.
Councilmember Seer?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Per discussion with Mr. Grab and our brand new Madam Master Clerk this afternoon, move to deferred until August 22nd, please.
Seconded by Councilmember Euler. Any questions or comments? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
We are at the city portion of the agenda. We're at the consent agenda. 23-281 is a communication from the City Manager and Director of Human Resources with a request to approve the low bid from Gallagher Bassett and to authorize the City Manager to enter into a 3-year agreement to provide third-party administration for the city's liability program at a total estimated cost of $235,000. 23-282 is a communication with a request to approve and authorize the payment of a workers' compensation settlement in the amount of $196,139.24 to a firefighter injured on August 14, 2020. 23-283 is a communication from the City Manager and Director of Community Development with a request to concur with a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission and staff to adopt an ordinance approving a special use in a Class R4 single-family residential district for a short-term rental for the property located at 1709 West Sherman Avenue. 23-284 is a communication with a request to approve the site application for a Class H temporary outdoor liquor license for an event to be held by Build Peoria in the 1200 through 1400 block of Southwest Adams Street on September 9th, 2023. And that concludes your consent agenda.
Are there any items to remove from consent? Councilmember Kelly?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Manager or Director Doolin, either one, on 23-283.
We'll just pull it.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to pull it?
I want to pull it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Councilmember Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item number 23-284.
Councilmember Seer?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item number 23-282.
That leaves one item left. Moved by Councilmember Seer, seconded by Councilmember Allen to approve the remaining item on the consent agenda. Any questions, comments? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
See, 23-283 is a communication with a request to concur with a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission and staff to adopt an ordinance approving a special use in a Class R4 single-family residential district for a short-term rental for the property located at 1709 West Sherman Avenue.
Okay, there was 282 also.
Oh,
It
my
got pulled.
apologies. I'm sorry.
Okay.
23-282 is a communication with a request to approve and authorize the payment of a workers' compensation settlement in the amount of $196,139.24 to a firefighter injured on August 14th, 2020.
Thank you. Councilmember Seer?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a quick question, Mr. Manager. Where does the money, from which budget does this money come out from?
In our human resources budget, we set aside funds for settlements, and this is where that would come. It's, as it states here, we have an escrow account that is funded by our workers' compensation benefits budget to pay for that.
So it does not come out directly of the fireman's budget.
That is correct. Does not come out.
It does the HR budget.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Move to approve, Madam Mayor.
Seconded by Councilmember Euler. Any comments or questions? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
Now we're at 23-283 with a communication from the City Manager and Director of Community Development with a request to concur with a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission and staff to adopt an ordinance approving a special use in a Class R4 single-family residential district for a short-term rental for the property located at 1709 West Sherman Avenue.
Councilmember Kelly?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I'm sorry about the previous. Director Doolin, this property seems to be in kind of tough shape, rugged shape, and it is not ready for use as a short-term rental. There's a requirement that was made against the property owner to say, okay, you have to fix some of this up, especially the pavement, and I think the railings were rusty, et cetera. Is there a lower limit to what shape a property is in before it comes before the board?
So this property was actually operating as an STR.
That's right.
But similar to properties we've had in the past, that they paid their fines and paid all of their back taxes. But part of that special use is we do a pretty deep dive on the property. If they want the special use, we make sure that they bring the property up to code as the items mentioned. So we will make sure they do that in a very timely fashion, and the applicant indicated that they would.
Yeah, I'm sure you're doing everything properly. It just seems to me that when they come to you, they should be ready to go. You know, we might slip up or what. I don't know. It just seemed a little premature to go forward, but you're comfortable with it as it stands, I'm sure.
Yes, I mean, I think from we've had some struggles with this property, getting them to come into compliance, but as part of this case, they finally did. They paid the fines that we had issued. They paid their back taxes for the last year or so they've been operable. You know, I think the reality with code enforcement is with the book of codes we find, we could probably find a multitude of violations at most properties, especially in our older neighborhoods. Traditionally, they just don't want special uses to operate. I think that once we give them the special use and hold them to a higher expectation for wanting to be an STR in a neighborhood, that's our expectation, where we may not do that to a single-family owner occupied as much.
Thank you. And if we approve this item, those conditions go with the approval. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Madam Mayor, I will move for approval.
Okay. Councilwoman Jackson, seconds. Any other comments or questions? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
23-284 is a communication from the City Manager and Corporation Council with a request to approve the site application for a Class H temporary outdoor liquor license for an event to be held by Build Peoria in the 1200 through 1400 block of Southwest Adams Street on September 9th, 2023.
Councilmember Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The party involved has decided they did not want to have liquor at their event, and they have withdrawn their request. So I would just like to make a motion to withdraw it as well.
Okay. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilmember Allen. Council Kapuska. didn't we come up with a new policy as it relates to council withdrawing? I mean, maybe it hasn't been approved yet, but aren't we looking at a new policy as it relates to council withdrawing applications for, sorry to put you on the spot like that, but manager, do you know what I'm talking about? For what? This is not events. Is that what it is?
I think in the, sorry. There we go.
Mic on, Paul?
Yes. There we go.
Okay, thank you.
I think in this instance, a motion to withdraw would be perfectly fine at this point in time. What we had is requests for liquor licenses that were full licenses. I think it would be appropriate to go forward with the motion to withdraw since the applicant doesn't want to have it at the event.
Okay, so that change is still pending. Is that correct?
I think it was adopted. That's the, I think our Assistant Corporation Counsel has the rules. It was a separate agenda item that we had that included that last year, or it was approved at last week's meeting, so or
Okay.
2 meetings ago.
Okay,
so,
got it.
2 weeks ago, excuse me.
Okay. All righty, we have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
We are at presentations. 23-285 is a communication from the city manager with a request to receive and file the annual presentation from Arts Partners of Central Illinois.
I'd like to welcome to the podium Dr. May Gillen-Wright. She is the Executive Director of Arts Partners of Central Illinois Incorporated, and Franny Heine. She is Board President of Arts Partners of Central Illinois Incorporated. And we typically have an annual presentation. Sometimes that includes a lot of budget information, but I understand that your budget doesn't wrap up until the end of August, so we'll expect to have more budget information a little bit later. So thank you, ladies, and we welcome your presentation.
Thank you, Mayor and the City Council members, for inviting us here this evening. We are grateful for the city's continued support of our organization, and as such, we look forward to sharing our exciting updates with you. To begin, I thought we would share an overview of our mission and our vision. Oop. Maybe. There we go.
There we go.
Founded in 1999, Arts Partners of Central Illinois is a tax-exempt, non-for-profit organization whose mission is to build awareness and strengthen the arts for the economic and cultural enrichment of Central Illinois. Our vision is to be the one-stop source for arts information in Central Illinois and to facilitate partnerships and programs that empower and raise awareness for the arts. We work to accomplish our mission by engaging the community with the arts. We facilitate partnerships, initiatives, and programs that encourage and expand opportunities for public participation in the arts. Additionally, we coordinate information and resources on behalf of local arts organizations to help keep the arts on the community agenda. We support the arts by promoting art and culture through the community. We market activities aimed at developing new audiences and patrons for the arts in Central Illinois. Additionally, we champion professional development and networking opportunities to strengthen our greater arts community. Arts and culture are essential to the continued growth of the Peoria area and our region. The arts are an essential economic driver. They help us attract and retain talent. They give life meaning. They contribute to our emotional and physical health, as study after study has shown. This starts at a very basic level. Teaching art helps children develop the creative and critical thinking skills needed in all professions. High school students in the United States who engage in the arts at school are twice as likely to volunteer than those who don't. They are also 20% more likely to vote when they become young adults. The arts strengthen bonds between us. Whether it be a current exhibition like Violins of Hope at the Peoria Riverfront Museum, showcasing Jewish stories of resistance and unity through the power of musical performance, to River City Soul Fest that just took place this past weekend. The arts are what make our city vibrant.
Thank you, May, and good evening. And the numbers from the Arts and Economic Prosperity Report 5 provided by Americans for the Arts show how the arts are part of a healthy economy. In Illinois, the arts are a $4 billion industry, providing over 1,100,000 full-time jobs and nearly $150 million in revenue. In the greater Peoria region, it is a $20.4 million industry with 850 full-time jobs and $2.2 million in local and state government revenue. It is calculated that in our region, on average, nearly $16 is spent per event in the arts. If you have ever looked at our comprehensive arts calendar, you'll know that there are daily opportunities to participate in these events. Here's some exciting news. While these numbers are from 2015, this past year, Arts Partners embarked on an 11-month study in partnership with the Americans for the Arts and the National Endowment of the Arts for an updated Arts and Economic Prosperity Study, or AEP6. It is the 6th economic impact study of the nation's nonprofit arts and culture industry and the largest and most inclusive study of its kind. For the first time, AEP6 established a benchmark of arts and culture organizations that primarily serve communities of color and the audiences that attend their events. Arts Partners worked with various nonprofits in the region to collect audience surveys from attendees at local performances, events, exhibits, and cultural events from May through December 2022. We completed 812 audience surveys specific to our region, with 25% of those surveys being collected from events that were presented, produced, or hosted by an organization that primarily serves a community of color. The AEP6 study, Greater Peoria, will provide all arts nonprofits in our region with data on the economic impact of the arts. The last time this level of data was collected for our region was 2010. Results from this study will be published in October of 2023 and will be made available to all area arts groups. Surveyed groups include Peoria Players Theater, Peoria Guild of Black Artists, Art Inc., Carver Center, Cornstalk Theater, the Heritage Ensemble, Central Illinois Ballet, Peoria Riverfront Market, the Peoria Symphony Orchestra, and many, many more.
We serve over 160 arts and cultural entities, along with individual artists in our community. The arts, as I say, are not a, quote, nice to have, they are a must have. Arts Partners collaborates with WCBU Peoria Public Radio on a weekly basis to produce a radio show and podcast called Out and About, where I sit down and interview arts and cultural leaders about upcoming events in our region, giving them a much-needed platform in our media landscape. Arts Partners is looking for new ways to serve our community. This summer, we teamed up with CityLink Peoria and the Peoria Guild of Black Artists in the creation and unveiling on Juneteenth of a bus route that celebrates Black culture in Peoria. With the resources we have, we are able to help area organizations connect with artists. The end result in this case was a breathtaking mobile piece of artwork created by local artist Brenda Pagan. We are also teaming up with local initiatives like Choose Greater Peoria because they understand the arts and culture are a key part of attracting and retaining talent.
We have the region's most comprehensive arts calendar, and recently we expanded to sending out an e-blast that covers a full week of upcoming arts events to thousands of residents locally. This is all offered at no cost to local artists and arts organizations. From radio, web, to print, we are dedicated to sharing the many arts and cultural events taking place in Peoria and our region.
One of the programs that puts our local talent on blast is Sky Art Peoria, 48 by 14-foot billboards that soar above our local skyline, all highlighting local artists. These billboards garner millions of views each month by commuters, visitors, tourists, and pedestrians. Winning artists gain a value of over $37,000 in free advertising. This is a program that I have a deep connection to, as it was the first arts program that I chaired when I moved to Peoria starting in 2015. I'm proud to say that we not only highlight local professional artists, but this year, 2 of our 6 billboards were created by, by Peoria High School artists. All art is selected by a jury of local residents, from arts professionals to local business leaders. It has been wildly successful and has made measurable impacts on artists who have participated, helping them to step into their role as professional artists.
Speaking of which, because we see the arts as an economic driver, we believe it is important for our artists to be equipped with the skills needed to be successful. The Business of Art is a one-day event designed to connect entrepreneurial artists with business professionals who can help them navigate the world of business. Through seminars and networking, the Business of Art assists artists of all disciplines with establishing or enhancing their business.
Our largest public event of the year is happening this Saturday, and I hope that you'll all be there on August 12th at the Peoria Civic Center. Ignite Peoria is the premier arts and makers fest in Central Illinois, showcasing hundreds of local makers, musicians, artists, innovators, dancers, and actors, as well as the return of the All or Nothing Custom Car and Bike Show. The best part, it is free to participate, and there is no cost to parking at the Civic Center, which is a rare thing indeed. We're excited about that. It is perfect for the whole family. This STEAM-inspired interactive day is filled with fun and learning. We are the proud home of the Midwest Makers Fest, Fashion Ignite, Sensory Ignite, which has activities in a controlled and quiet environment, as well as several creation booths, stations where attendees can learn about singing, writing, dancing, building, acting, painting, drawing, coding, 3D printing, robotics, and so much more. Additionally, this event showcases theater, dance, and spoken word, as well as the literary arts, and it includes 2 live performance stages as well as the Robot Olympics. Returning for the first time, I alluded to this earlier, since 2015, is the All or Nothing Custom Car and Bike Show. The focus of the show is vehicles as art, and participants will be competing for awards, including the Arts Partners Award for the vehicle that displays the best artistic excellence. I'm happy to say, for the first time since the festival began, we have essentially reached capacity in terms of space available, a testament to the growth and strength of our local arts and cultural scene. We thank the Peoria Civic Center for their continued in-kind support of the program, as well as our sponsors. Arts Partners is part of what is called the Local Arts Network. We serve as the direct hub between the national and the state organizations to our local organizations and artists here.
And earlier this year, we hosted a group from the Illinois Arts Council Agency, including their executive director and board chair. We met with Mayor Ali, showcased local art, and hosted a town hall listening session attended by approximately 100 regional artists.
These connections are key to bringing extra dollars and support to our region. This year, I spoke with a panel on behalf of Arts Partners at the One State Arts Conference about a project that we participated in with the University of Illinois Extension that generated a map of creative and cultural assets in and around Peoria that help propel evidence-based opportunities to strengthen our community's vitality. While there, along with myself, representatives of Arts Partners and the Peoria arts scene were able to connect with statewide groups. I met with local representatives to lobby for an increase in the state budget for dollars allocated to the arts, an endeavor that was a success. We also acted as a Tier 1 hub with Arts Alliance Illinois with the State of Illinois' Back to Business Creative Arts Recovery Grant, a program meant to help those industries hit hardest by the COVID shutdowns. We were tasked with ensuring that all eligible local creatives had access to grant information, and we expect grant awards to be released before the end of the month. During the process of our state and national connections, I was able to discuss and secure funds for a new granting program in Central Illinois called Arts Dollars. When Arts Partners was first formed, one of the main objectives was to re-grant dollars into Central Illinois. We are now bringing that vision to life. In our first year, we have been awarded $10,000 from the Illinois Arts Council Agency. These are dollars that would not otherwise come into our Central Illinois community, and they will be awarded to arts organizations, artists, and K-12 arts education programs. We are excited to see this program continue to grow, ensuring that state dollars make it to Central Illinois. We want to thank you for your continued support. Again, we are very grateful to this council that you understand the necessity of the arts and culture and support our continued growth in Peoria and the greater Peoria region. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. May, and thank you, Ms. Heine. Excellent presentation. And it really demonstrates the power of the arts, the impact that it has on our economy, the impact it has on our community overall. And, you know, Peoria is being known around the country as a strong arts community, and your leadership is helping that to happen. So much appreciated. I'm really optimistic, you know, in the future of the arts here with your leadership. And I'm going to ask Councilman Riggenbach has been serving really as the liaison from the council to the Arts Partners Board, and I think you're like creating a position there on the board for his liaisonship. So, Councilman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you, Dr. Gilliland and Ms. Heine.
You almost got it this time.
I was practicing that too. I just want to let the council know that taking this role as liaison, if there's ever any questions or concerns, you feel free to reach out to me anytime, but I know their doors are always open as well, and I've just been thrilled to get a glimpse as to what their vision is for the future. Dr. May's been in this role less than 6 months as the executive director, and just when you see arts money, arts dollars, and the dollar sign, that's something that we all like to see. So keep up the good work. And as Councilman Graham often says, Peoria is kind of like a ham sandwich. We've got healthcare and manufacturing, and in the middle we have the arts, and that's really where all the taste is, right? You know, so we just are excited to see how this organization continues to make us the best ham sandwich in the country. Thank you very much.
Great. And I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Allen, but I do want to just repeat the Ignite Peoria event is taking place this Saturday from 9 to 5. It's free. It's jam-packed. It's very exciting, and it's a family event, so everybody's welcome to come out. Can't wait. Councilmember Allen?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you both for your very detailed presentation this evening. I definitely want to give kudos to you all and those behind you who are really contributing to making Central Illinois really this hub for art. And if you think about our fashion scene, which has erupted the last several years as well too, we're really creating these quality of life opportunities that are both recruitment and retention tools for our city. So I appreciate you all and everything that you're doing. Look forward to supporting as best as I can. And again, just keep up the good work, but we thank you for all you do for our city.
Thank you so much. And I'm just going to say that we do have Fashion Ignite this weekend, so that is taking place as well. So very exciting. Thank you so much, Councilman.
You're welcome. I want to acknowledge our legend, Miss Arts in the audience, Mary Jo Papich. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need a motion to receive and file the
Okay, moved by
presentation.
Councilmember Euler, seconded by Councilmember Allen. Any other comments, questions? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
We are at first readings. 23-286 is a communication from the City Manager and Corporation Council with a request to receive and file the first reading of an ordinance amending Article 19, Operation of a Cannabis Business, of Chapter 18, Licenses and Miscellaneous Business Regulations of the Code of the City of Peoria.
Council?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. What you have before you is one very minor change to the licensing section for our cannabis businesses. We wrote the issuance section in the negative, and it came to our attention that we needed to insert 3 words to make the section more readable and comply with the intent of the ordinance. It's very simple. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Can I get a motion? Moved by Councilmember Riggenbach, seconded by Councilmember Kelly. Councilmember Allen?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Corporation Counsel Kapushka, I got to give you a hard time because it seems like you just show up when we talk about cannabis, so welcome back. But I just had to throw that little joke out there.
Okay. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Madam Clerk?
We are at regular business. 23-287 is a communication from the City Manager, Chief of Police, and Director of Public Works with a request to receive and file the Traffic Calming Program Manual for the City of Peoria.
Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. If I could, I'd like to turn it over to our Public Works Director to explain what we're going to ask for this evening.
Powers?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Counselor. Our council, I'm sorry. Excuse me and pardon my voice. I'm having that moment again. It's just, you know me. After a quick review, actually, Councilor Kelly was kind enough to point out that the manual in its current form contains a few words, for instance, shero, which maybe a citizen may not understand what a shero is, and we're writing the manual toward that group. That being said, we would like to take an opportunity to defer, and the councilors offered to do that for us on my behalf, and I appreciate that very much. But it also will give you then a week to take a look at the attachment, and if you see anything from a content perspective, because it is traffic calming, and you know, especially the district councilors, realize that every neighborhood meeting we go to, we talk about traffic calming, speeding, so on. So we would appreciate your input, and this will actually give you that time to provide us that input, and we could treat those as quasi-report backs before the next meeting. And with that, that's what we're asking for. And thank you, Councilor Kelly, for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you, Director Powers. Councilmember Kelly?
I move to defer until the 22nd of August.
Seconded by Councilmember Riggenbach. Any other questions or discussion? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
23-288 is a communication from the City Manager and the Fire Chief with a request to approve a resolution regarding the $2,500 sign-on bonus for certified EMT basic and the $10,000 sign-on bonus for certified paramedics upon hiring.
Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have a communication here from the Fire Chief. He is not here, but our Assistant Fire Chief, Cummings, is here. What we're asking to do is to create a lateral transfer signing bonus, and Chief, if you don't mind coming forward, that would provide that if people are certified as paramedics and they come into the department with that certification, that they would receive a bonus. Chief, you want to just maybe if you could outline and just talk about that?
Yeah, like I said, good evening. Like the city manager says, I hope everybody had a chance to read it, but I'll give you a brief overview. Any employee that's certified in the state of Illinois or holds a national registry license in the EMT basic or EMT paramedic will receive this bonus. This agreement will do a few things for the fire department. We can use it as a recruitment tool, and then get qualified candidates, and we can save money. It takes about $12,000 to train an EMT basic and about $38,000 to train an EMT paramedic. So out of the last three recruit class, we had to train between 3 to 5 candidates to at least the basic level. So if this agreement goes through, we'll have 1 nationally registered paramedic and 2 EMT basics in our next academy class that starts August 25th of this year. So that'd be three out of the 6 that we'll be hiring, and we'll train them to be released to the streets faster.
Any questions for Assistant Chief Cummings? Councilmember Sear?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Assistant Chief. Just want to make sure, I want to clarify what you said. The $12,000 for lateral movement, which means firemen from other cities around us or far away, doesn't matter, but that's what a lateral movement is, correct? Versus a brand new one. A brand new fireman would be like $38,000, you said? Is that correct?
No, that's just to train a paramedic. See, in Illinois, we don't have lateral movements between fire departments like they do with the police department. So we have to get them and start them from the beginning. So we still have to train them to the level that we have. But if we do get an individual from another department, they most likely will have the EMT basic certificate or the EMT paramedic certificate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Welcome. Councilmember Kelly?
Move for approval.
Okay, seconded by Councilmember Gordon Young. Any other questions or comments? Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Chief. Madam Clerk?
23-289 is a communication from the City Manager and Director of Community Development with a request to concur with the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission and staff to approve a resolution amending the City of Peoria comprehensive plan by incorporating the Riverfront Plan.
Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is the approval section that we talked about when we presented the plan to you. It has gone to the Planning and Zoning Commission, where I believe it was a 4-to-1 vote in favor of the plan to come forward. In that same period of time, we've been working with Tara to try and finalize some of the cost estimates for the plan. We think that it's probably, to do everything, going to be right around $26 million is what we would be looking at, maybe a little bit more than that. We'll get that cost estimate out to you so you can take a look at that overall. Ultimately, we did, the mayor and I did have an opportunity to have a conversation with Assistant Majority Leader John Gordon Booth, who was able to say that she's going to work towards getting the money that's been set aside from the state released for this plan. So hopefully one of the next steps that we'll do is start to talk about where we might do that, some of that private fundraising that we've already seen some interest towards. And then eventually we'll be coming back to you with different bid packages as we start to talk about how we can phase this and put that together for you as well.
Any questions? Get a motion. Moved by Councilmember Euler, seconded by Councilmember Allen. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Madam Clerk,
We are at unfinished business.
is there any unfinished business? No.
Then we are at new business.
New business, Councilmember Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
I would just like to congratulate our IT department and others who were involved in bringing iCompass to us. It is a new piece of software for all of us, and it's nice and clean. It looks good. We've got a couple glitches we're working on, but I'm sure they can be ironed out. I'm very happy about this, and I would once again like to give my annual urging to my fellow council members to use the, save a few trees, I guess, use your iPad. With your iPad, you can keep everything. You can make notes to yourself. You can keep everything. Nothing ever goes away. The trash cans aren't full. it is, I think, a wonderful tool. And I would further like to say, Madam Mayor, that our new graphics on our television screens here in the chambers are very nice. I thought what we had before was okay until I saw these come on. And they're just, again, nice and clean. The white background is good. Hats off to all those responsible for that. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Technology enhancements. Councilmember Riggenbach, new business.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The clerk just passed out a copy of what was in yesterday's Peoria Journal-Star, a story about our efforts as a council in the East Bluff with the East Village Grow Sell TIF. I was teased after the meeting 2 weeks ago that if I had kept talking, I was going to start losing votes instead of picking votes up. So at the risk of making this meeting longer than it needs to be, let me just say there was one thing I actually forgot to mention, and this is one of the more innovative aspects of this particular TIF. When the TIF increment balance gets up to $500,000, we are committed to turning $50,000 over to the Peoria Public Schools for vocational training. So I think one of the knocks that TIFs take oftentimes is that it takes money out of the other taxing bodies. Well, this TIF, again, shows the innovative thinking of the council that put this in place, that we weren't going to let that happen. And seeing vocational training, career and technical training, I think is the way they describe it today. This just reiterates our commitment to that. We're at about $450,000 in that TIF balance, so we're getting really close to coming through to make this a reality. So thank you to the Journal-Star for highlighting this, and again, thank you to the council for standing with me and all of the residents of the East Bluff.
Thank you. And well done, Mr. J.J. Bullock. Councilmember Allen, new business.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to give a big shout out to the River City Soul Fest Planning Committee. I know Mayor Ali, you are a part of that. We have Trustee Sierra in the council chambers today too. Shout out to him and the Park District. Dr. Cal Bright, who is the Soul Fest Committee Chair. It was just a beautiful illustration of Peoria this past weekend. I know that the numbers are still coming in, and we'll see what the final count was, but I mean, it was so well attended. It was just a beautiful night on the riverfront. The artist Joe, he came, did his thing. It was just a great time, and so I think it just demonstrates just how great our city is and the entertainment that we're able to bring when it comes to diverse acts. So big shout out to the Peoria Park District, all of the sponsors, all of the organizers, all of the staff that went up and set up, clean up, everything just to make that event happen. So as we just approved our riverfront proposal plan, I think having events like the Soul Fest and Fiesta El Rio and India Fest coming up in a couple of weeks, I mean, it's just going to be great draws for our downtown and our riverfront. Thank you.
Thank you. Agreed. Ditto. It's a great weekend in Peoria. Okay, Madam Clerk.
We are at citizens' opportunity to address the City Council and Town Board.
And we have no cards, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
So we are at executive session, and we do not have one, so we'll be at an adjournment.
Can I get a motion moved by Councilmember Euler, seconded by Councilmember Kelly? Please cast your ballots. Thank you for your service.